Okay, unmute. Very good evening to all. See here, I'm starting the session. Listen. In the previous two sessions, in the first session, very clearly we discussed about what is data, information, database, DBMS, RDBMS. These terms we discussed. So what is data? It is the raw collection of facts that may be related to the people or places or things. These are not in meaningful form. If we arrange this data in meaningful form, that will become information. Here, what is this 25? We are not understanding. Here, 25 is student ID. Here, what is Ramu? We are not understanding. Here, Ramu is the student name. So, data is not in meaningful form. Information is in meaningful form. So, like that, database means it is the collection of interrelated data in an organized form. Means you can understand like complete details about an organization. For example, if we take college database, student is the table, marks is the table, okay, like that, fee is the table, library is the table, faculty is the table, that will become college database. Okay, if you take online shopping database, product table, customer table, their orders table. Okay, so this is online shopping database. So database means you can understand like complete details about an organization. So to maintain database like this, to create and maintain the database, one software is required. That software is called DBMS. So DBMS means database management system, or you can say software. It is the software used to create and maintain the database. If you want to create and maintain the database, we are using DBMS. The DBMS, once upon a time, before 1960s, we were maintaining data manually. In the 1960s, file management system introduced. It has some drawbacks. Later, DBMS introduced. The DBMS, first they introduced a hierarchical. It has also some drawbacks. Then they introduced network database system. It has also some drawbacks. These three are unsuccessful softwares. Later in the 1976, EF Code introduced relational database. This is successful software. This is a successful concept. Okay, so Oracle is the first relational database software introduced in the world. So when this Oracle was introduced, in the 1979. Directly they released the second version. So Oracle introduced in 1979. Directly they released the second version. They didn't release first version. So latest Oracle version is 19C. This Oracle is the relational database management software. To create and maintain the database, we are using this. Relational database means, relation means table. In the Oracle, we maintain database in the form of tables. Okay, this Oracle has some tools. Some tools are there, like SQL and PLSQL are the tools. So what is SQL? SQL stands for Structured Query Language. Why we are using it? To communicate with the database server. To communicate with the database server, we are using SQL. Okay, so SQL is one query language. So Java, C++, Python, those are the programming languages. In the programming languages, we write programs. In the query languages, we write queries. So SQL is the query language. So in this, we write the queries. Why we are writing queries? To communicate with the database, to store the data in the database, to retrieve the data from database, to perform manipulations in the database. We are using this SQL. So here we are writing the queries. What is query? Query means that is the request sent by the client to the database server. So client is sending request for the data. That every request is called query. And this SQL is the non-procedural language. Means we are not writing any functions here. We are not writing any set of statements. Just only we are writing the queries. So that's why we are calling this as non-procedural language. And this is the unified language, means it is common for many relational database management softwares. So whatever the commands we are using in the Oracle SQL, almost all are available in SQL Server also, in PostgreSQL also, in DB2 also. So that's why we are calling this is the unified language. It is common for many relational database management softwares. So with this, the advantage here is today we are using SQL Server. Tomorrow we want to migrate from SQL Server to Oracle. We can migrate easily. For example, today we are using Oracle. Okay, we are not satisfying with Oracle. We want to take the services of SQL Server. We can migrate our database from Oracle to SQL Server. So this portability feature we will get because of this Oracle is unified language. Okay, and this SQL is the 4th generation language. Means in the 4th generation languages, we much concentrate on what to do rather than how to do. For example, to find square root value, we have no need to bother about what is the logic. Just simply we use the function sqrt. So here we much focus on what to do rather than how to do. Okay, and this SQL is providing operators to us to perform operations, to work with the database, on data, to perform operations. It is providing many operators to us. But it does not provide any control structures because we are not writing any set of statements here. No need to control the flow of execution here. Okay. And next, it is providing some built-in functions to work with the database. So till here, we discussed in the previous session. Now today's session is very, very important session. Pay attention and listen carefully here. This SQL is providing 5 sub-languages to us. See, listen. This SQL is providing 5 sub-languages. So topic name is sub-languages in SQL. Okay, please don't write anything. At the end of the session, I provide one link to you. So I have created one link for your notes. So all these 3 sessions notes I upload in this link. At the end of the session, I will give this link to you. Okay, I already uploaded the notes. Last 2 days notes I uploaded in this folder. Okay, notes is ready. Whatever I'm typing here, that notes is available. Don't bother about the notes. Okay, so today's notes also I will upload in the same link I share with you. Don't bother about the notes. Just listen here. See. Listen carefully. Today's session is very, very important session. So sub-languages in SQL. So you already know that SQL means structured query language. In this, we are writing queries. By writing queries, we can communicate with the database. So to write the queries, it is providing some commands to us. Those commands are categorized as sub-languages. So to work with the database, this SQL is providing some commands. So based on those commands purpose, they categorized them as 5 sub-languages. So SQL provides for 5 sub-languages. SQL provides 5 sub-languages. In every sub-language, some commands are there. So what are those 5 sub-languages? See here. First one is DDL commands. So first one is DDL. If anyone is not having interest, you can leave the session. If you are here means you should be serious and listen carefully here. Don't talk with others. Don't laugh. If If you don't have interest, you can leave the session, no problem. No one is requesting you to attend this session. See here. So this SQL is providing 5 sub languages to us. Those are, first one is DDL and second one is DML. Okay, third one is DRL. Fourth one is DCL and fifth one is TCL. Here, these DRL commands can be also called as DQL commands. And these DCL commands, you can also call them as ACL commands. See here. So here DDL stands for data definition language. DDL stands for data definition language. In every sub language, some commands will come under every sub language. So what are the DDL commands here? DDL commands are create, alter, drop, truncate, rename, flashback, and purge. So these are comes under DDL commands. Among these, this flashback and purge introduced in the Oracle 10G version. So in the Oracle 10G version, they introduced flashback and this purge. So these 7 commands are comes under DDL commands. So SQL is providing 5 sub languages. Every sub language is providing some commands to us to write the queries. So 5 sub languages are DDL commands, DML commands, DRL or DQL commands. Okay, DCL commands, or you can say ACL commands. Next one is TCL commands. Among these, create, alter, drop, truncate, rename, flashback, and purge. These 7 commands are comes under DDL commands. So among these, this flashback and purge, these are introduced in Oracle 10G version. They introduced recycle bin concept in the 10G version. Before 10G version, that recycle bin concept, flashback concept was not available. Next one is DML commands. This SQL is providing DML commands like insert command, okay, delete command, update command, next insert all command, next one is merge command. This insert all introduced in Oracle 9i version, and this merge command also introduced in Oracle 9i version. So these commands are comes under DML commands. Okay, so next DML stands for data manipulation language. DML stands for data manipulation language. Okay, next DRL commands. Here DRL stands for data retrieval language. DRL stands for data retrieval language, or you can say DQL. DQL means data query language. Data query language. There is only one DQL command, that is select command. Next commands, next category is DCL. So DCL stands for data control language. Data control language, or you can say ACL. ACL stands for accessing control language. Next one is, so which commands are comes under DCL command? Say here, grant command and revoke command. Grant and revoke. These commands comes under DCL commands. And next one, TCL commands. TCL commands are commit, rollback, and save point. These commands are comes under TCL commands. So TCL stands for transaction control language. TCL stands for transaction control language. So like this here, 5 sub languages are provided by the SQL. See here. So SQL is used to write the queries. So to write the queries, SQL is providing some commands to us. These commands are categorized as 5 sub languages based on their purpose. So those 5 sub languages are, first one is DDL, second one is DML, third one is DRL or DQL, fourth one is DCL or ACL, and fifth one is TCL. So DDL stands for data definition language, DML stands for data manipulation language, DRL stands for data retrieval language, or you can say data query language. Okay, DCL stands for data control language, ACL stands for accessing control language, TCL stands for transaction control language. Okay, so which commands are comes under DDL commands? Create, alter, drop, truncate, rename, flashback, and purge. Which commands are comes under DML commands? Insert, delete, update, insert all, and merge. Which commands are comes under DRL commands? Only one command, select command. Which commands are comes under DCL commands? Grant and revoke. Which commands are comes under TCL commands? Commit, rollback, and save point. So among these 5 sub languages, first sub language is DDL. First sub language is what? DDL. So DDL stands for data definition language. Data definition language. So what is the purpose of this DDL command? Say here. So this DDL commands, this command, every DDL command deals with metadata. Every DDL command deals with metadata. So metadata means what? Data about the data. What are the examples? What are the examples? For example, here 20 data is there. Ramu data is there. Okay. So here, what is this 20? That is told by this column name. Column name is the metadata. Here Ramu is the data. Ramu is which data? That is told by this heading, column heading, student name. So field name is the metadata. Every field name is the metadata. Here in this example, student ID and student name are the field names. And this table name is student. So student is the table name. So it has some data. So it is describing about this data. So you can say table name is the metadata. Table name is the metadata. So here student ID means that is only numbers. Okay, student ID 20, 21, 25,000. Okay, only numbers. So number is what? Data type. Okay, so number related data, character related data. So which type of data? That is also comes under metadata. Okay, so here student ID is number related data. It is number related data. Here table name student is the metadata. So data type number is the metadata. Okay, here I want to accept only 4. I want to accept only up to 4 digits, maximum 4 digits. That is called field size. Field size. Okay, I am giving number of 4, means that can accept maximum 4 digits only. Up to 9,999 only that will accept. So here 4 is the field size. This is metadata. Number is the data type. Data type is the metadata. Student is the table name. Table name is the metadata. Student ID, student name. These are the field names. Field names comes under metadata. So we define this metadata using these DDL commands. So DDL commands deal with the metadata. Okay. See here. For example, when we use these commands, which commands are comes under DDL commands? Like create command, alter command, drop, truncate, rename, flashback, and purge. Just now I have given the list. So why we are using these commands? For example, if a requirement is creating the table, then we use this create command. Whenever we are creating the table, we specify like this. Create, for example, I want to create one table. Student table. So student is the table name. So what is the table name we are specifying here by using this DDL command? Okay. And what is the field name we want? We are specifying here. Field name, metadata. Student ID, which data type? Number related data type. In C language, you are using int. In Java, you are using int. Like that here, number is the data type. And we can specify the field size here. So number of 4 means that can accept maximum 4 digits. Okay, that can accept maximum 9,999. That cannot accept 10,000. Why? Because in the 10,000, how many digits are there? 5 digits are there. You are clearly telling that accept up to 4 digits only. So maximum up to 9,999 it will accept. So here student is the metadata, table name. Student ID is the field name, metadata. Number is the data type, metadata. 4 is the field size, metadata. Sometimes we specify the constraints also, like constraint name. So some constraint types are there, like primary key, okay, not null, unique. Okay, in further sessions we discuss. So these are also comes under metadata. So here metadata you are specifying here, metadata you are defining here. So that's why I'm saying that these DDL commands deal with the metadata. Mainly it deals with the metadata. Okay. And okay, for example, here we are creating the table. Student table we are creating. In the student table, student ID is there and student name is there. 2 columns are there. Okay. So in the future, after creating this table, in the future, I want to add one more column here, mobile number. I want to maintain mobile number of the student. This table is already created. This is the existing table now. I want to change the structure of the table. Okay, here table is already created. We want to change the structure of the table. So to change the structure of the table also, we use these DDL commands. So to create the tables, so later after this, we want to add one more column. That is what mobile number. Mobile number column we want to add. So we are adding. So to the existing table, we are adding the column. No, I don't want this column. I want to drop this column. We can drop. So like this, we can drop the column. We can add the column. We can add the constraints. We can drop the constraints. Okay, all these things we will do by using DDL commands. So DDL commands are used to create the tables and to change the structure of the tables. Now this comes under structure. Here, now how many columns are there? 2 columns are there. I want to change the structure of the table now. Okay, I'm adding one more column. Now how many columns are there? 3 columns are there. We are adding one more column to the existing table. No, I don't want this column. I'm removing this column. Now how many columns are there? 2 columns. Okay, so like this, we are adding the columns. We are dropping the columns. Okay, so we are creating the tables and we are changing the structure of the tables. So to create the tables, to change the structure of the tables, generally we use these DDL commands. So it completely deals with metadata. Here we are specifying what is the table name, what is the field name, what is the data type, what is the field size. Okay, and some rules we are applying, like constraints we are applying here. So everything, almost all, we are dealing with the metadata here. So DDL commands are used to deal with the metadata. Is this point clear? Next category is what? DML commands. So DML stands for data manipulation language. The name itself is giving the meaning. The name itself is giving the meaning. In the previous session, I told manipulation means what? Manipulation means what? Insert plus update plus delete. So these are comes under manipulations. So all these DML commands are used to deal with every DML command deals with the data here. Every DDL command deals with the data here. Okay, for example, just now we created this table using create command. So now I want to, one student is joining in the college. Okay, we are adding his record here. So 1001 student name is Ramu. Okay, for example, his ID is changed from 1001 to 1050. I'm modifying here, modifying the student ID. Okay, for example, student is leaving from the college. Student left from the college. We are deleting the record. So here we are adding the record if he is joining. We are deleting the record if he is leaving the college. Okay, if his address is changed or his contact number is changed, we are modifying. So to insert the data, to delete the data, to modify the data, we are using these DML commands. So here with the data we are working, we are inserting data, we are deleting data. Okay, we are modifying data. It is dealing with the data. So DML commands deal with the data. Like insertion, updation, and deletion we do. The name itself is giving the meaning. Manipulation means inserting, updating, and deleting. Is this point clear? Next. Next category is what? DRL, or you can say DQL. So DRL stands for data query language. DRL stands for data query language. Data query language, sorry. DRL stands for data retrieval language. Data retrieval language, or DQL stands for data query language. Data query language. So the name itself is giving the meaning. DRL, data retrieval. Okay, data retrieval. Okay, retrieving means what? Retrieve means opening existing data. Retrieve means opening existing data. So already data is there. We want to open and we want to see that one. In the previous session, I showed. I'm opening SQL Plus here. Just a minute. See here. So there is a user with Oracle 11 AM. I'm opening that one. Okay. In this already EMP table is there. I want to see the EMP table records. So I am using one command here, select. Select. I want to display, I want to get employee number, employee name, is a job designation, and his salary. Okay, so this data is available in the EMP table. So already data is existent in the EMP table. Some records are there. Now I am trying to retrieve by using the select command. This select command comes under DRL, means data retrieval. We are retrieving the data here. We are opening the existing data here. See, it is displaying 14 rows to us. Okay, employee number, employee name, job, salary. Okay, so 4 columns data it is displaying. So like this, we can retrieve the data from existing tables. So this is DRL. DRL stands for data retrieval. Retrieving means opening existing data. To open required data, we are using it. For example, I want to retrieve only clerk's data. So I write like this, where job equals to clerk. Now it will display only clerk's data. Okay, so like this required data we can retrieve. Okay, so this is DRL command. So DRL deals with the data retrievals. It deals with data retrievals. Okay. Next category is what? Next category is DCL. DCL, or you can say ACL also. DCL stands for data control language. DCL stands for data control language. Or you can say ACL stands for accessing accessing control language. Okay, so it deals with, this command deals with data accessibility. It deals with data accessibility. Who can access the data? Who cannot access the data? Who can access the data? Who cannot access the data? Okay, that will be controlled by using these commands. The name itself is giving the meaning, data control language. So database administrator controls who can access the data, who cannot access the data. For example, assume that here 3 users are there. First user is HR. HR is creating one table, EMP table he is creating. Okay, with some employee number, employee name, job, salary, okay, etc. So with these columns, HR is creating this EMP table. Now, who is the owner of this EMP table? HR. HR is the owner of this EMP table. Okay, now another user is there. Another user is there. Okay, one assistant manager is there. Assistant manager is there. Okay, HR manager is owner of this table. So who is the owner of this table? HR is the owner of this table. So HR wants to give accessing permission to this assistant manager. Okay, for only, he wants to give only read-only permission to assistant manager. And here another user is there. Another user is clerk is there. Clerk another user. Okay, assistant manager one user, clerk another user. This clerk, for clerk he wants to give permission to perform DML operations and DQL operations. DML operations and DQL operations. DML operations means he can insert the records, he can update the records, and he can delete the records. Okay, DQL means he can read the records. Okay, for assistant manager, he is giving only read-only permission, means he is giving permission on DQL only. DQL means he can see the data. He can see the data, but he cannot insert. He cannot update. He cannot delete. So like that, this HR user wants to give read-only permission to the assistant manager and to perform DML operations and read operations, read and write operations. For read and write operations, he wants to give permission to the clerk. So to give the permission, now HR is the owner. He uses one command here. That command is what? Grant command. Which command he uses now? Grant command. Using grant command, HR gives permission to the assistant manager as well as clerk. And he is controlling the data accessing here. Now assistant manager can read only. Assistant manager can read the data. He cannot update. He cannot insert. Whereas clerk can read the data and he can write the data. Okay. So like this, he is controlling the data accessibility here. Owner, who is the owner of the table, that owner is controlling, or otherwise database administrator controls all users. So who can access the data, who cannot access the data, he gives the permissions and he cancels the permissions. So to give the permissions, which command we use? Grant. To cancel the permissions, which command we use? Revoke command we use. So this grant and revoke, these commands are comes under DCL commands. If one user wants to give permission to other users, or if database administrator wants to give permission to other users, he uses grant command. If he wants to cancel the permissions, okay, he wants to cancel permission on this read only from assistant manager, or he wants to cancel all these DML and DQL permissions from clerk, at that time he uses revoke command. So grant command is used to grant the permissions, revoke command is used to cancel the permissions. So like this, we can control the data accessibility. So that's why we are calling them as accessing control language or data control language. Okay. So grant and revoke commands are comes under DCL commands. Is it clear? Next category is what? Next category is TCL. TCL stands for Transaction Control Language. TCL stands for Transaction Control Language. Okay. See, it deals with the transactions. It deals with the transactions. See, listen carefully here. Every transaction must be successfully completed or aborted, means cancelled. Every transaction must be successfully finished or cancelled. Okay, we should not place the transaction in the middle. Every transaction must be successfully finished, or otherwise we have to roll back. For example, you are doing the transaction, you want to do one transaction in the ATM machine, you want to withdraw 10,000 rupees amount from your account. This is called one transaction. Withdrawing amount is transaction. So what you are doing, you are inserting your ATM card. That machine is reading your card information. And after that, that is asking your PIN number. You are entering your PIN number. That is reading that PIN number and that is checking with their bank database PIN number. If PIN number is matching, that is displaying menu to you. From the menu, you are selecting the choice. For example, you are selecting withdraw option here. That is asking the amount. You are giving amount as 10,000. Okay. So after giving the amount, now you got one message as 10,000 rupees amount debited from your account, but that machine didn't give amount to you. Now this is one problem, right? So every transaction must be successfully completed or aborted. You started this transaction. You want to withdraw 10,000 rupees amount. So you are giving 10,000 as the amount. So you got one message, as sometimes we get messages like this. Okay. So those are some network problems. Okay. Some transaction problems. So due to that, we will get message as amount debited from your account. Okay. But amount will not come from the machine. This is one mistake. So after that, immediately what they will do rollback. Rollback means undo, cancels the transaction now. Immediately they cancel the transaction. Transaction must be successfully completed. A transaction must be successfully aborted. It should not be in the middle. If it is in the middle, we will get problems. We are not getting money. If the bank is deducting 10,000 rupees amount from our account, means this is a problem. We are losing 10,000 amount here. Okay. So to avoid such type of problems, every transaction must be successfully completed or transaction must be cancelled. To cancel the transaction, we use rollback here. To cancel the transaction, which command we use? Rollback. To save the transaction, for example, machine is giving amount, transaction is successfully finished. We have to save the transaction. We use commit command. So commit is just like save. Rollback is just like cancelling. Okay, undo. Just like undo. Later again, every command with the syntax, every command we discuss. Just I am giving overview on sub languages. That's it. What is there in the SQL? Just I am giving overview. Later, every command individually with syntaxes, with examples we discuss. Okay. So like this, to control the transactions, we are using this TCL command. So TCL stands for transaction control language. If transaction is successfully completed, we use commit command. If transaction is not successfully completed, we roll back that transaction. Okay. So like this, we can use the TCL commands. So this is about 5 sub languages. So till here, once again, I'm repeating, listen. SQL is providing how many sub languages? 5. What are those? DDL, DML, DRL or DQL, DCL or ACL, TCL. So DDL stands for data definition language. Okay. So which commands comes under DDL commands? Create, alter, drop, truncate, rename, flashback, and purge. Okay, by using these commands, mainly deal with the metadata. These commands deals with the metadata. Okay, like we are specifying what is table name, what is field name, what is data type, what is field size. So every command, almost all commands deal with the metadata here. Next, second one, DML. So which commands comes under DML commands? Insert, delete, update, insert all, and merge. So here the name itself is giving the meaning manipulation. Manipulation means we are updating, inserting, and deleting. So to update, insert, and delete the data records, we are using them. So these commands deal with the data. DDL commands deals with metadata. Data definition, we are defining there. We are defining table name. We are defining field name. Okay, data definition, we are defining. Okay, DML means we are performing manipulations. It deals with data. Next, DRL means it deals with data retrievals. Retrieving means opening existing data. So we are retrieving and we are seeing the data. Okay, so which command comes under DRL? Select command. Next, DCL commands for controlling the data accessing. For controlling the data accessing from other users, we use these DCL commands. To give the permissions to other users, we are using grant command. To cancel the permissions from other users, we are using revoke command. Okay, next command is what? Next one is TCL. TCL stands for transaction control language. So to control the transactions, like if transaction is successfully finished, save it, commit. If transaction is not successfully finished, cancel it, roll back. So to cancel the transactions or to save the transactions, we use these TCL commands. So this is overview on sub languages. If you know all these commands with the syntaxes perfectly, then you know 50% of SQL. If you know these commands means you know 50% of SQL. Okay, so these commands only we will learn in our further sessions. Okay, those syntaxes, okay, examples, okay, everything very clearly we discuss. Now see, listen. So now you know 5 sub languages are there. Among those 5 sub languages, first one is what? DDL. So DDL stands for data definition language. So here we are dealing with data or metadata. It deals with metadata. Okay. So which commands are comes under DDL commands? Please create, alter, drop, truncate, then rename, then flashback, purge, flashback and purge. That's it. So these 7 commands are comes under DDL commands. Among these, which one is the first command? Create command. Now I'm talking about create command. Listen carefully. So if you don't know how to create the table, you cannot learn Oracle. So if you don't know how to create the table, you cannot use view, you cannot use index. So you cannot do anything in the Oracle. So this is very, very important. So to create the tables, first we have to know the data types. So now I will explain this create command syntax and data types in the SQL. I will explain. Okay. For you, these are demo sessions, but we already entered in the subject. And I will not repeat all this again. So the next week, again, we continue all the classes. Okay. So classes will be continued. See, what is the first command here? Create. See the syntax of this create command. Create command syntax. So why we use this create command? See, listen carefully here. This create command is used to create the database objects. Now here you are listening one term. Is it to create the database objects? Like what are the database objects? Like tables, views, indexes, etc. So these are called database objects. So see, listen carefully here. In the previous session, I told about Oracle server. This is Oracle server. This is what? This is Oracle server. Oracle server contains 2 parts. What are those? Oracle instance and database. Oracle instance and database. Okay. See, this is Oracle instance. Where this Oracle instance will be stored? In the RAM, in the temporary memory RAM. So this is what? This is Oracle instance. This is Oracle instance. So Oracle server means the machine in which we install Oracle software. That machine is called Oracle server. In this database will be stored in the hard disk, and Oracle instance will be stored in the RAM. Okay. So to run the Oracle, to run the SQL commands that uses temporary memory here. So in the temporary memory, that runs many services here, like storing the data, retrieving the data, okay, submitting the queries. To perform all this internally in the background, that has to run many services. Those services will be loaded in the Oracle instance. Okay, now database is stored permanently in the hard disk. Okay, so now this is hard disk and this is the Oracle database. Oracle database, this database stored in the hard disk. Okay, listen carefully here. What a database contains? A database contains schemas. Inside of database, we create the schema. Then what is a schema? Schema means very simple. Schema means one user. Schema means one user. For example, to log in into SQL Plus, I typed one username, Oracle 11 AM I have given. Oracle 11 AM is a username. Okay, like that HR username, Scott username, system username. Okay, Ravi username. Every username is called schema. Okay, so who is the current user? I want to see that one. So I'm using show user. So who is the current user now? Oracle 11 AM is the current user. Okay, so like this. Now I'm giving another user. So I'm connecting as another user. C hash Raju. Okay, I'm giving some password. Now who is the current user now? Current user is Raju. So Raju is one user. Okay, like that Oracle 11 AM is one user. System is one user. HR is one user. Every user is called schema. User can be also called as schema. So what a database contains a schema user. Inside of the user, we create the table. Okay, so now I'm connecting as Oracle 11 AM user. So C hash Oracle 11 AM, this is called schema. I'm entering into the schema now, Oracle 11 AM schema. Okay, so inside of this schema, one table is there. Inside of this Oracle 11 AM schema, one table is there, EMP table is there. I want to see EMP table data. So I'm writing select star from EMP. So here in the database, schema is there. In the schema, table is there. Okay. So inside of database, what a database contains? Database contains a schema, or you can say users. Database contains users. So this user creates the database objects. User creates what? User creates the database objects. So a database contains users. Those users creates database objects. So the database objects will be maintained in the database. So what are the database objects are available, sir? Many database objects are available. Many database objects are available, like table is there. Table is one database object. So like table view is one database object. Okay, like this synonym, one database object. Sequence, database object. Okay, materialized view, one database object. Okay, procedure is the database object. Okay, function is the database object. Trigger is the database object. Package is the database object. Okay, so like this, several database objects are there. So inside of database, user will be created. Inside of user, database objects will be created. Database objects means not only tables. Using create command, not only table we create. Database means not only tables will be there. It also contains views, indexes, procedures, functions, packages, triggers. All these are comes under database objects only. Who creates these database objects? User creates. Okay, so in the database, users will be there. Instead of users, database objects will be there. Is it clear? So database contains the users. User creates the database objects. So to create the database objects, now user uses which command? User uses which command? Create command. So create command is used to create the database objects like tables, views, indexes. All these are comes under database objects only. To create all these database objects, we use only one command, create command. Next. So in the initial classes, just we discuss about tables only. After completion of complete tables topic, we discuss other database objects. So that's why I'm giving only the syntax to create the table. I'm giving the syntax to create the table here. So what is the syntax to create the table? See, we write like this: create is the command. Okay, then write table. Our requirement is creating table. So we write create table here. If our requirement is creating view, we write create view here. If our requirement is creating procedure, we write create procedure here, like this. So create, give the database object name which you want to create. We want to create a table. So we are giving database object name is as table. So create is the command, table is the database object. Then give the table name here. Here what we have to give? Table name. Table name we have to give. In the syntax is, whenever you are referring the books, whenever you are referring the websites, generally they use this in symbols. The angular brackets meaning is any valid name you can give. Angular brackets meaning is what? Any. Here this is the syntax. So for table name, I'm using angular brackets here. What is the meaning of this one? Any table name you can give. Here to create the table, you must write create only. Here you must write table only. But here you can give any valid table name. Any name you can give. So to represent any, which symbol I'm using here? Angular brackets I'm using. Angular brackets I'm using. Okay. After this, opening bracket. Okay. Then give the field name here. Any field name you can give. Field name. Okay. After this, we specify the data type here. After this, we specify the data type. So these are compulsory. Okay. These are compulsory. See. So field name we must write. Data type we must write. So minimum one field we have to create when we are creating the table. Minimum one field name, one data type we specify. Till here it is mandatory. After that, if we want to define the constraints, constraints means those are some rules. Okay. For example, see, there is a column. There is one table, marks table is there. Student ID, student name, and marks of subject one column is there. Okay. So university is conducting 100 marks paper. For M1 means marks of subject 1. M1 means marks of subject 1. University is conducting maximum 100 marks. If student is giving blank paper, how many marks he will get? 0 marks. If student is attempting all answers perfectly, how many marks he will get? 100 marks. So maximum marks are 100, minimum marks are 0. For example, here we are entering the data. Okay. So we are entering data like this. Student ID, student name, he got 67 marks. Okay. Next to student, he got 45 marks. Okay. By mistake, the data entry operator is pressing another key. If this data is accepted, is it valid data or invalid data? It is incorrect, right? This is invalid data. Okay. Out of 100 marks, how a student will get 456 marks? This is mistake. So we want to prevent the user from entering such type of invalid data. So for this, we use constraints. To restrict the user from entering invalid data, we use constraints. So here, university is conducting 100 marks. So marks value must be between 0 to 100 only. Student should not get marks greater than 100. Student should not get marks less than 100, less than 0. So marks value must be between 0 to 100 only. So if user is entering other than 0 to 100, that should give error. That should not accept such type of data. So this is one rule we have to apply. That is called constraint. That is called what? Constraint. Constraint means constraint is the rule. Okay, that restrict the user from entering invalid data. Again, we discuss about that one just to get some idea. I told you. So here, to write the constraint, to apply such type of rules, we write constraint keyword. Then we give the constraint name here. Then we write constraint name. Here we write constraint name. After that, we write constraint type. After this, we write constraint type here. Constraint type. constraint type. Okay. So this is defining one field here. This is defining one field. Defining one field. So among these, writing constraint, constraint name, constraint type is optional. Okay. So if you want to define one more field, again we write the same field name, data type, constraint, constraint name, constraint type, comma. Next, if you want to define one more field, again you write field name, data type, constraint, constraint name, constraint type. Okay. So finally we close the bracket, and every query ends with the semicolon here. We write semicolon. Okay. So this is the syntax to create the table. This is the syntax to create the table. Okay, observe here. So what we are writing, create table, then table name, then opening parenthesis, then field name, data type, constraint, constraint name, constraint type. So specifying constraint, constraint name, constraint type is optional. To indicate optional, I am using the braces here, square braces. In the syntaxes, square braces means what is the meaning of this one? Optional. In the syntaxes, we are using angular brackets means what is the meaning of that one? Any. Angular brackets means any. Okay, square braces means optional. Okay, in the syntaxes, generally we use them. So when you refer the websites or books, so generally they follow this one. Okay, so we are also following this one. So this is the syntax to create the table. Is it clear? Okay, so now to create the table, first we have to know data types. Without knowing the data types, how can you create the columns? Okay, so to create the column name you will give, you have to know the data types here. So what are the data types available in the SQL? We have to learn. Okay, so what are the data types available in SQL? This part I explain in the next session. One important announcement to you, listen. Next session will be on Monday. So due to the Dasara festival, okay, our institute is giving holidays to you. So from tomorrow onwards, holidays. Our next session will be on Monday. Okay, same timings at 6 p.m. 6 to 7:30 are our class timings. Already we entered into the subject, and I will not repeat anything here. So directly I explain about this create command only. Directly I will explain about data types only. On Monday, I will explain about data types. So next session will be on Monday. So from tomorrow onwards till Sunday, Dasara holidays, next session will be on Monday. Okay. So before Monday, please finish your registration process. And I'm giving link to you. So here 3 days notes is available here. So today's notes I will upload. Today night I will upload. 2 days notes is available in this link. Please note this link. This is notes link. Okay. See, regarding fee and regarding course, please contact to the Naresh Shetty office. Okay, you can Google it. You can Google it about Naresh Shetty office number. In the website, you can see nareshshetty.com is the website. There you can find the number. There you can do charting also. nareshshetty.com is the official website. nareshshetty.com is the official website. There you can find the contact number. There you can do the charting also. Okay, 3 months. Our course duration is 3 months. Okay. So in today's session, what we discussed, what are the sub languages provided by the SQL? Just commands list I have given. Just create command to create the table. What is the syntax we have seen? So data types in SQL, I will explain on Monday. Okay, thanks to all. See you on Monday. We can leave the session. Session is over. We can leave the session. అమ్మ 21C విండోస్ అవైలబుల్ లేదు, 19C. అమ్మా రిలీజ్ అయిందా? మీది ఎంత ఉంది ర్యామ్? డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోండి అమ్మా. మీరు కంప్లీట్ అన్ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసుకోండి. ఆల్రెడీ ఉన్న ఒరాకిల్ అన్ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసుకోండి. అన్ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసుకోవాలంటే ఒక ప్రొసీజర్ ఉంటుంది, కావాలంటే మీరు యూట్యూబ్ లో చూడొచ్చు. కంప్లీట్ అన్ఇన్స్టాల్ పర్ఫెక్ట్ చేసిన తర్వాతనే ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసుకోండి, లేకపోతే మీకు ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ వస్తాయి. ఓకే. ఏవి స్క్వేర్ బ్రేసెస్ అంటే ఆప్షనల్. ఇది ఆప్షనల్ అని ఇండికేట్ చేయడానికి మాత్రమే మనం రాస్తున్నాం. మనం ఇవి రాయం. కామా అంటే మెనీ కన్స్ట్రెంట్స్, మనం మెనీ ఫీల్డ్స్ డిఫైన్ చేయడానికి కామా. ఇది మొత్తం ఆప్షనల్ లేక ఇది మొత్తం ఆప్షనల్ అని ఇండికేట్ చేస్తున్నాను నేను ఇక్కడ. అట్లా రాసుకోవాలంటే మీరు అట్లా రాసుకోవచ్చు, ఇండివిజువల్ రాసుకోవాలంటే ఇండివిజువల్. సో ఇక్కడికి ఓకే. యాక్చువల్లీ ఇది కామా కూడా ఆప్షనలే కదా, కామా కూడా ఆప్షనలే కదా, అందుకని చెప్పి నేను ఇట్లా రాస్తున్నా. సో ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఈజ్ ఆప్షనల్. ఇదంతా కూడా ఆప్షనల్, ఇది కంపల్సరీ అని రిప్రజెంట్ చేయడానికి మాత్రమే మనం ఇట్లా రాస్తున్నాం.